And we lost thousands in product and materials and parts. Pretty much everything that's sitting on the floor was either damaged or is no.
Derek Bieri was more than a creator, he was a phenomenon. A man who built an empire from rusted metal, discarded engines, and forgotten cars, only to pull the plug at the very height of fame. Millions of viewers, $1 million brand, and a legacy that could have gone on forever, all paused without warning. Not because of money. Not because of views. But because something else mattered more. For years, fans speculated, debated, and even theorized about why Vice Grip Garage suddenly slowed. Now, Derek is finally breaking his silence, and the truth about why he stepped back is far from the story most believed. Before YouTube, before engines roared back to life on camera, Derek Bieri was a kid in North Dakota. Surrounded by fields, tractors, and silence, he learned that broken things weren't thrown away, they were fixed. That quiet, rural upbringing instilled patience, creativity, and an instinct to figure things out. Born on May 16, 1984, Derek's childhood was modest, shaped by hard work and self-reliance. He spent hours taking apart toys and gadgets, not to destroy them, but to understand them. Curiosity, not chaos, drove him. It was this same curiosity that would later define Vice Grip Garage. As he grew, his fascination evolved from toys to classic American cars. Old Chevys and Buicks sat abandoned, rusting in fields and barns, and Derek wondered what stories they held, and whether they could run again. Later, Derek served in the military, gaining discipline, focus, and responsibility. Afterward, he entered the corporate world, but the office walls and fluorescent lights couldn't replace the thrill of a welder's spark or the sound of an engine sputtering to life. Watching others online fix old cars sparked a thought, maybe I can do that too. One night, with a broken iPhone taped to his garage door, Derek filmed a small block engine going into a 1960s Camaro. He uploaded the video. It wasn't a perfect production, it was raw, real, and honest. But it resonated. On December 9, 2007, Vice Grip Garage was born. A name at first, it soon became a symbol of grit, humor, and determination. There were no fancy studios, no million-dollar cars, just a dream, a camera, and courage. What Derek lacked in polish, he made up for with authenticity and expertise. His videos didn't just restore engines, they revived hope. Every rusty car brought back to life was a lesson in patience, problem-solving, and persistence. Fans didn't just watch, they connected, laughed, and learned. As Vice Grip Garage gained traction, Derek's style stood out. He rescued neglected cars and trucks, making them run again while sharing their stories. Viewers didn't just see a mechanic, they experienced a journey, a narrative where struggle, effort, and triumph intertwined. His content focused on low-cost projects, junkyard finds, and simple fixes. It was proof that creativity and patience mattered more than a budget or shiny tools. As Vice Grip Garage grew, Derek competed in events like Rocky Mountain Race Week and Sick Week, taking cars that seemed unroadworthy and pushing them beyond expectation. One car became an icon, a 1972 Chevelle named Independence. Rough, scratched, and worn, fans loved it because it wasn't perfect. Independence is beat up and scratched, but like this country, it never quits, Derek said. For him, Vice Grip Garage wasn't just a channel, it was a legacy, a mission to pass the torch to future generations of gearheads. For years, Derek was the YouTuber fans admired, someone who could take a broken car and make it roar again. But as Vice Grip Garage grew, so did the demands. Bigger projects, more travel, sponsors, and deadlines gradually shifted the channel from passion to pressure. Fans noticed. Comments appeared online, "I miss the old videos where he was just hanging out in a back field." The intimacy of simple, honest restoration was being replaced by the weight of production schedules. Derek wasn't just a creator anymore, he was a brand, and every hour in the garage now had to justify itself for the camera. The toll was personal. Traveling, filming, editing, and maintaining a family life drained him. The always-on mindset, common in online creators, led to burnout, exhaustion, and a fading joy in work that once defined him. Rumors and online chatter about sponsorships and projects only added to the stress. Fans witnessed moments of the real Derek, joking about spark plugs, repairing old tractors, or restoring small machines. But behind the scenes, he was balancing an impossible equation: creator, husband, father, and public figure, all at once. Derek often worked over 100 hours a week. The grind was relentless: filming, editing, posting, managing social media, and answering comments. At first, it was passion, but soon it became an obligation. The joy of creation started to fade. Psychologists call this loss of fulfillment. Creators stop enjoying what once excited them, the spark disappears. Derek reached a moment of clarity: stepping back wasn't giving up, it was self-preservation. He slowed down, prioritized home life, and made Vice Grip Garage about joy again. He reevaluated what truly mattered, not just for him, but for everyone who supported him. The channel became a family affair. His wife, Jessica, wasn't just behind the camera, she was part of the story. Derek realized that every hour spent filming was an hour away from his family. He learned that life off-camera mattered just as much as life on it. Balance wasn't surrender, it was growth. Not all fans understood the change immediately. Some embraced it, enjoying new content like Vice Grip Lodge or Bentley's Little Grip Garage. Others longed for the old, simple videos. The truth was, Derek's evolution reflected life, growing responsibilities, family priorities, and the realities of running a successful channel. Even small interactions could spark debates. A joke about a sponsorship deal or a minor online comment could snowball into theories and stress. But Derek's integrity, authenticity, and dedication kept fans loyal. They valued his honesty more than flashy content. The audience recognized a universal truth: passion has limits, and balance is essential. Derek's choices reminded fans that even the most admired creators must sometimes slow down to protect what matters. Vice Grip Garage continued to evolve, staying true to its core mission: low-cost restorations and reviving old vehicles. Derek emphasized that his heart would always belong to budget builds and accessible projects, proving that enjoyment and fulfillment aren't tied to wealth or resources. While he couldn't keep every car, every restoration had a purpose. Selling or passing on a car didn't mean failure, it meant preserving its life and utility. Events like Sick Week tested the limits of vehicles, proving their performance and reliability in real-world conditions. Derek's ultimate dream extended beyond YouTube. Bigger shop space, exposure on platforms like Hulu or Netflix, and expanded opportunities were on the horizon, but his roots remained firmly planted in the channel that started it all. Derek's journey reflects a broader truth for creators today: passion doesn't thrive under constant pressure. Fans still crave honesty, not views. The chase for virality, engagement, and analytics can make work feel like a burden rather than a joy. For Derek, stepping back wasn't quitting, it was protecting peace, staying true to his craft, and remembering why he started. The story of Vice Grip Garage is not just about cars. It's about life, choices, and priorities. Success only matters if it doesn't cost the people, health, and happiness that make life meaningful. In a world that never stops, Derek reminds us to ask, what's truly worth it? Vice Grip Garage isn't just a channel, it's a story of resilience, passion, and family. Derek Bieri taught millions that fixing something doesn't just restore its function, it restores hope, creativity, and connection. Slowing down wasn't failure, it was wisdom. It was about safeguarding what truly matters: family, health, and purpose. It was about proving that sometimes, the bravest thing you can do isn't start something, but pause, reflect, and protect what you love. Derek's journey isn't finished. There are still cars to restore, engines to roar, and lessons to teach. But his most important project has always been, and will continue to be, the life he builds with his family, alongside the community he's inspired. Vice Grip Garage is more than YouTube. It's a testament to persistence, integrity, and the power of knowing when to push and when to pause. If Derek's story inspired you, share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to follow more stories of passion, perseverance, and life lessons from creators like him. While Vice Grip Garage showcased roaring engines and restored classics, the man behind the camera often went unseen. Derek Bieri wasn't just a mechanic or entertainer, he was a husband, father, and a man balancing his dreams with life's responsibilities. Fans saw the finished videos, the perfectly timed cuts, and the humor sprinkled in. What they didn't always see were the long nights editing, the missed family dinners, and the constant mental juggling of multiple roles. This was the invisible labor behind every successful video, an effort few truly understood. Jessica, Derek's wife, played a crucial role. She wasn't simply helping with logistics, she helped preserve the humanity in the content. From keeping schedules to assisting in small restorations and ensuring Derek could be present at home, her contribution was the invisible engine that kept the channel, and the family, running smoothly. Vice Grip Garage succeeded not only because of engines and wrenches but because of the stories Derek told. Each car had a narrative, each restoration a lesson. The charm lay in his ability to weave humor, frustration, triumph, and nostalgia into every project. For instance, when working on Independence, Derek didn't just fix a Chevelle, he resurrected decades of history, memories, and forgotten craftsmanship. Fans weren't just watching a car run again, they were witnessing hope materialize in metal. This art of storytelling made the channel relatable. It wasn't about perfection or fancy tools, it was about grit, patience, and the human touch that transforms broken things into something alive again. Unlike polished TV shows, Vice Grip Garage embraced imperfection. Engines failed, bolts stripped, and sometimes a car simply wouldn't start. Derek showed failure as part of the journey, teaching fans that struggle was not only normal but essential. Messing up is part of the process, Derek once joked. His approach demystified mechanics and encouraged viewers to try, fail, and try again. In a way, his channel became a blueprint not only for restoring cars but for facing challenges in life, showing that persistence often matters more than skill alone. Vice Grip Garage wasn't just a channel, it was a community. Fans weren't passive observers, they participated, commented, and shared their own stories of fixing cars, tackling projects, and learning from Derek's hands-on philosophy. Events, meetups, and fan interactions created a network of support, learning, and shared passion. Derek often emphasized the importance of these connections. It wasn't just about views or clicks, it was about people coming together, sharing knowledge, and keeping a culture of craftsmanship alive. Even small gestures, like responding to comments, attending a local car show, or highlighting fan projects, reinforced that Vice Grip Garage was built on connection, not just content. With success came scrutiny. The internet thrives on speculation, and Derek quickly learned that even small misunderstandings could spiral into widespread rumors. A casual comment about sponsorships or a misinterpreted post could spark debates, criticism, and unnecessary stress. For Derek, managing this became part of the job. It wasn't just about restoring cars anymore, it was about managing perception, staying authentic, and navigating a community that felt personally invested in his every move. Through it all, he remained steadfast. Derek's response to rumors was simple: focus on the work, remain authentic, and prioritize the people who mattered most, his family and core fans. At its heart, Vice Grip Garage wasn't about cars, it was about values. Patience, creativity, perseverance, humility, and the belief that anything can be fixed with enough effort. Derek's philosophy resonated because it applied to life as much as mechanics. Whether reviving a 50-year-old truck or a rusted engine, the lesson remained: work with what you have, embrace failure, and find joy in the process. These principles became the backbone of every video, earning Derek not just fans but loyal supporters inspired to apply the same mindset in their own lives. Derek's decision to slow down Vice Grip Garage sent a message beyond mechanics: success isn't worth sacrificing balance. Fans initially questioned it, but those who looked deeper saw the wisdom in his choice. Taking a step back allowed Derek to reflect, prioritize family, and restore his own mental energy. The pause wasn't failure, it was an act of preservation, a conscious choice to protect what mattered most. And in this, there's a universal lesson: stepping away is sometimes the bravest move you can make. Vice Grip Garage didn't remain static. As Derek's skills, audience, and resources grew, so did the projects. What started as small restorations in a quiet garage expanded to larger builds, racing events, and occasional giveaways. Yet, even with evolution, Derek maintained the essence of the channel: authenticity, accessibility, and a hands-on approach. The challenge wasn't just technical, it was creative. How do you expand a brand without losing the charm that made it special? Derek approached this carefully, experimenting with new formats, featuring different vehicles, and even involving his kids in small projects. This growth kept the channel fresh while remaining true to its roots. One of the most memorable projects in Vice Grip Garage history was the 1972 Chevelle, affectionately called Independence. The car wasn't flawless, it was dented, scratched, and full of history, but it became a symbol of resilience, grit, and the channel's mission. Derek pushed Independence to its limits, even during sick week, testing its speed, durability, and engineering. With each run, the car told a story: something old, seemingly forgotten, could still perform beyond expectations. For Derek, every vehicle had this potential. It wasn't just metal, it was a testament to effort, patience, and imagination. As Vice Grip Garage grew, so did the team. Derek realized that he couldn't do everything alone. But rather than relying on outside professionals, he involved his family and close friends in projects. Jessica's role was significant. She helped plan shoots, coordinate events, and manage the behind-the-scenes logistics. Derek's children, especially his youngest, even got hands-on experience in the garage. Bentley's Little Grip Garage became a space where the next generation could learn, explore, and discover their own passion. This family involvement reinforced the channel's authenticity and deepened its connection with viewers. Vice Grip Garage wasn't just about fixing cars, it was about learning life lessons. Derek taught viewers that problem-solving, perseverance, and creativity mattered more than money or fancy tools. Every failed start, stripped bolt, or stuck engine wasn't a setback, it was a lesson. By sharing these moments, Derek gave fans a blueprint for approaching challenges in their own lives. The philosophy was simple: with patience, ingenuity, and persistence, almost anything can be fixed or revived. The channel's impact went far beyond entertainment. Fans regularly shared stories of how Derek's videos inspired them to tackle their own projects, reconnect with their families, or even overcome difficult periods in life. During the pandemic, many viewers admitted that Vice Grip Garage provided more than just distraction, it was comfort. People wrote about overcoming depression, loneliness, and frustration, often citing Derek's humor, patience, and authenticity as the reason they kept going. This bond between creator and audience became a defining feature of Vice Grip Garage, proving that community, connection, and shared passion can create impact far beyond views or likes. With growth came the pressure of visibility. Derek wasn't just working in a garage, he was managing a brand, a schedule, and the expectations of millions. Every upload, comment, or collaboration was dissected online. Rumors, critiques, and comparisons became constant noise. Fans expected perfection, engagement, and entertainment in equal measure. For Derek, balancing content creation with family, personal life, and mental health became a tightrope act. This pressure wasn't unique to him, many creators face similar challenges. Yet, Derek's approach, stepping back, protecting family, and re-establishing boundaries, showed how to navigate fame without losing oneself. Derek's story highlights the often overlooked side of content creation: mental health. Working more than 100 hours a week, traveling, editing, and engaging constantly takes a toll. Burnout isn't just exhaustion, it's a loss of joy, creativity, and connection to the work that once fueled you. By choosing balance over constant output, Derek modeled healthy boundaries. Slowing down wasn't quitting, it was self-preservation. For creators and viewers alike, this was a powerful reminder that protecting your mental health is as important as pursuing your passions. Vice Grip Garage isn't just a YouTube channel, it's a legacy. Derek Bieri's work is about more than cars, it's about values, lessons, and inspiration. He showed that effort, patience, and authenticity are timeless, and that what you build today can influence generations tomorrow. Passing on knowledge, through family involvement, online tutorials, or fan engagement, was central to Derek's mission. He wanted future gearheads to not only fix machines but to carry forward a culture of curiosity, creativity, and respect for craftsmanship. Though Derek slowed down, his vision never stopped. Vice Grip Garage continues to explore new opportunities, whether through larger projects, collaborations, or expanding the educational aspect of the channel. Derek also emphasizes sustainability, teaching viewers how to revive, reuse, and restore instead of discard. It's a philosophy that aligns with modern values, demonstrating that mechanical work can be both creative and responsible. Even as formats evolve, Derek's central mission remains: inspire, educate, and connect. Every project, whether big or small, carries the same energy, humor, and authenticity that fans fell in love with years ago. Beyond engines and tools, Bieri became a mentor for aspiring mechanics and creators. Through Vice Grip Garage, he showed that skill, patience, and determination could turn anyone into a problem solver. Young viewers, sometimes teenagers in garages or driveways, found inspiration in Derek's approach. He wasn't just teaching how to fix cars, he was teaching life skills. Curiosity, resourcefulness, and persistence became lessons that extended far beyond the mechanical realm. By including his children in projects, Derek passed down more than technical knowledge. He imparted values, respect for hard work, the joy of creating, and the pride of seeing something brought back from the brink. This mentorship created a ripple effect, shaping a new generation of hands-on learners. Vice Grip Garage's influence extended beyond online screens. Derek participated in car shows, racing events, and community workshops, connecting with fans face-to-face. These interactions created lasting bonds that online metrics could never measure. Fans often shared personal stories. One viewer mentioned how watching Derek restore a classic pickup inspired him to save his grandfather's barn-find truck. Another said that seeing Derek's patience motivated him to pursue mechanical studies he had once abandoned. The real impact wasn't in views or subscribers, it was in tangible action, in people taking lessons learned from Derek and applying them in their own lives. As Vice Grip Garage grew, so did the scrutiny. Every project, sponsorship, and comment was dissected. Rumors spread online, and casual remarks could turn into widespread theories. Rather than react defensively, Derek focused on authenticity. He remained transparent with his audience, acknowledging mistakes and clarifying intentions when needed. This approach built trust and respect. Fans knew that what they saw was real, not staged, and that Derek valued honesty over hype. This ability to navigate criticism without compromising integrity became a defining characteristic of his leadership and set an example for other creators. Grit was at the heart of Vice Grip Garage. Derek didn't just fix cars, he embraced the process, even when it was messy, frustrating, or slow. Every stuck bolt, stripped screw, or stubborn engine symbolized a larger life lesson: perseverance pays off. Patience, combined with creativity, turned failures into successes. Derek's approach encouraged viewers to think differently, to improvise, and to value effort over convenience. In a world driven by instant results, Vice Grip Garage celebrated persistence, proving that meaningful achievements require time, skill, and dedication. The most significant evolution in Derek's life was balancing Vice Grip Garage with his family. Initially, the channel demanded long hours, travel, and constant engagement. Over time, he realized that no amount of views or revenue could replace time with his wife and children. Slowing down wasn't a setback, it was a conscious choice to prioritize what truly mattered. Derek wanted his children to see that pursuing passion should never come at the expense of relationships. By integrating family into projects and schedules, he created a model of balance that many fans found inspiring. Certain cars became symbols of Vice Grip Garage's ethos. Independence, the 1972 Chevelle, wasn't just a project, it was a narrative of resilience and resourcefulness. Each restored vehicle carried stories of patience, hard work, and triumph over obstacles. Derek's philosophy was simple: restoring a car meant restoring hope. Even vehicles deemed unfixable were given a second chance, demonstrating that effort, creativity, and heart could revive what others had abandoned. These legacy projects reinforced Vice Grip Garage's reputation and inspired countless fans to approach their own challenges with the same mindset. After years of pressure, deadlines, and public expectation, Derek returned to the original essence of Vice Grip Garage, joy. By slowing down and focusing on meaningful projects, he rediscovered the thrill of hands-on restoration without the stress of constant uploads or audience demands. The work became fun again. Engines roared, sparks flew, and the garage felt like a place of creation rather than obligation. Fans noticed the difference, the energy returned, humor and patience were restored, and the connection between Derek and the audience deepened once more. Vice Grip Garage thrived because of community. Fans weren't passive, they were collaborators, learners, and supporters. Derek fostered this environment intentionally, highlighting viewer projects, responding to comments, and encouraging interaction. This culture of connection ensured that Vice Grip Garage wasn't just content consumption, it was participation. Viewers learned, shared, and engaged in a meaningful dialogue with Derek and each other. It wasn't the cars alone that mattered, it was the shared experience of making, fixing, and learning together. As Vice Grip Garage grew, Derek faced a new challenge, scaling without losing authenticity. The channel had expanded from a single garage to multiple projects, more sophisticated builds, and occasional collaborations with other creators. Growth brought opportunity, but also pressure. Larger builds required more planning, budgets grew, and fan expectations shifted. Derek had to navigate the tension between expanding his brand and staying true to the gritty, hands-on style that made the channel beloved. With success came sponsorships and partnerships, which introduced another layer of complexity. Derek wanted to collaborate with companies that aligned with his values, tools, parts, and products that genuinely supported the craft. However, balancing sponsorship obligations with authenticity was tricky. Fans quickly noticed when content felt forced or commercialized. Derek learned that transparency and honesty were crucial. The audience respected him more when he was upfront about deals rather than hiding them. Humor was one of Vice Grip Garage's defining traits. Derek's jokes, puns, and playful banter made mechanics approachable. Even in frustrating situations, stripped bolts, stuck engines, or failed restorations, Derek could lighten the mood. This humor did more than entertain, it humanized him. Fans saw not just a skilled mechanic, but a relatable person who struggled, laughed, and persevered. Humor became a tool to connect, teach, and remind viewers that the journey is as important as the destination. Derek explored new platforms like Hulu, Netflix, and other media, expanding Vice Grip Garage's audience beyond YouTube. While these opportunities offered exposure, Derek remained cautious not to dilute the original vision. Each expansion was strategic, ensuring that new projects reflected the same values: accessibility, resourcefulness, and authenticity. Despite bigger budgets and wider audiences, Vice Grip Garage maintained its hands-on, relatable style, proving that scaling doesn't have to mean losing identity. Vice Grip Garage became a story of resilience. Derek faced technical failures, creative fatigue, and the pressure of online scrutiny. Each challenge tested his patience, adaptability, and focus. Rather than giving up, Derek embraced these moments as part of the journey. He demonstrated that setbacks aren't the end, they're opportunities to learn, adapt, and grow. Resilience became not just a lesson for mechanics, but a universal life principle shared with every fan who watched, learned, and tried to replicate his work. One of the most remarkable aspects of Vice Grip Garage was its multi-generational appeal. Young viewers admired the technical skills, while older fans appreciated nostalgia and respect for classic vehicles. Through this connection, Derek bridged generations. Families watched together, fathers taught children using his methods, and communities rediscovered hands-on craftsmanship. The channel became more than entertainment, it was a shared experience across ages, a rare feat in digital content. Every project Derek tackled was more than a mechanical process, it was a story. Viewers weren't just learning how to fix cars, they were learning how to approach problems methodically, creatively, and patiently. The narrative style of Vice Grip Garage, blending humor, frustration, triumph, and history, turned restoration into a form of storytelling. This approach made lessons stick, inspiring fans to apply the same logic, patience, and creativity to their own projects, big or small. For Derek, success wasn't about subscribers or ad revenue. It was about impact, the lives inspired, the cars saved, the skills taught, and the connections made. Even as he slowed down, Derek's philosophy remained unchanged: quality over quantity, passion over clicks, and family over fame. This perspective resonated deeply with fans, many of whom realized that true achievement lies not in recognition, but in meaningful contribution and genuine connection. Slowing down didn't mean stopping. Derek began planning the next chapter for Vice Grip Garage, one that balanced creativity, family, and personal fulfillment. He envisioned new projects, educational initiatives, and collaborations that didn't compromise the channel's core values. The goal was simple: continue inspiring, teaching, and entertaining, but without sacrificing balance, joy, or authenticity. Ultimately, Vice Grip Garage is about more than vehicles. It's a story of perseverance, family, authenticity, and the courage to prioritize what truly matters. Derek's journey reminds viewers that passion is powerful, but without balance, it can consume you. By slowing down, focusing on family, and preserving mental health, he demonstrated that protecting yourself and those you love is as important as chasing any dream.